In the heart of Europe lies a country of breathtaking alpine vistas, imperial grandeur, and surprising innovation. Austria, where Mozart's melodies still dance through cobblestone streets and where cutting-edge architecture stands beside Baroque palaces. This land of 9.1 million people, spanning just 83,871 square kilometers, packs more cultural punch per square mile than almost anywhere on Earth. Nestled between 8 countries, Germany and Czechia to the north, Slovakia and Hungary to the east, Slovenia and Italy to the south, and Switzerland and Liechtenstein to the west, Austria sits at the crossroads of European history. The majestic Danube River carves through its landscape, while the Eastern Alps dominate over 60% of its territory, creating a paradise for nature lovers and adventure seekers alike. What many don't realize is that Austria's strategic position made it the center of one of Europe's greatest empires. Today, that imperial legacy lives on in its stunning capital city, which we're about to explore. But first, did you know that despite its small size, Austria consistently ranks among the top 15 wealthiest countries in the world by GDP per capita? That remarkable prosperity becomes evident the moment you set foot in Vienna. Vienna, Austria's magnificent capital, sits gracefully along the banks of the Danube River in the eastern part of the country. Home to 1.9 million residents, this city perfectly balances its imperial past with its progressive present. The historic Innere Stadt forms Vienna's UNESCO-listed heart, where the magnificent Hofburg Palace complex and Gothic St. Stephen's Cathedral stand as testaments to the Habsburg dynasty's 640-year rule. Just a quick tram ride away, districts like Leopoldstadt and Neubau showcase Vienna's modern side with cutting-edge galleries, innovative startups, and trendy cafes frequented by the city's creative class. Vienna's public transportation network is consistently rated among the world's best, with an integrated system of underground metro, trams, and buses covering the entire city. The network operates on a proof-of-payment system. Buy your ticket before boarding and validate it, or risk a €105 fine. A single journey costs €2.60, but the real deal is the Vienna City Card at €25 for 72 hours of unlimited travel, plus discounts to major attractions. For visitors, this isn't just convenient. It's remarkably affordable compared to other European capitals like Paris or London, where similar passes cost nearly twice as much. What truly sets Austrian public transport apart is its legendary punctuality. Trains and buses arrive within 30 seconds of their scheduled time 95% of the time, making the country a public transit utopia. The National Railway, OBB, connects all major cities with hourly services on main routes. A Vienna to Salzburg ticket costs around €35 for the 2.5-hour journey, though savvy travelers book the Sparschina advance tickets starting at just €19.90. One local quirk: unlike many countries, Austrians stand strictly on the right side of escalators, leaving the left side open for those in a hurry, and they take this rule very seriously. When comparing transport costs across Central Europe, Austria sits comfortably in the middle, more expensive than neighboring Czechia or Hungary, but notably cheaper than Switzerland or Germany. A monthly public transport pass in Vienna costs €51, compared to approximately €86 in Munich or €103 in Zurich. As you navigate Austrian cities, you'll be surrounded by the melodious sounds of German, the country's official language. Austrian German differs from its German neighbor with unique vocabulary and a softer, more musical pronunciation that some linguistic experts consider more similar to the German spoken during Mozart's time. For English speakers, German presents moderate learning challenges, ranking as a Category 2 language in difficulty, mainly due to its complex grammar and compound words. Despite these linguistic hurdles, Austria boasts an impressive 99.7% literacy rate as of 2025, and its education system ranks 14th globally according to the latest PISA assessments, with 89.3% of adults having completed secondary education. The Austrian story is written not just in its language, but in its compelling history. The Habsburg monarchy established its power base here on October 21, 1273, when Rudolf I was elected Holy Roman Emperor, beginning a dynasty that would shape European politics for centuries. The Austro-Hungarian Empire emerged as a dominant force until its dissolution after World War I on November 12, 1918. After a dark period as part of Nazi Germany following the Anschluss of March 12, 1938, Austria was occupied by Allied forces from 1945 until May 15, 1955, when the Austrian State Treaty restored full sovereignty. Austria joined the European Union on January 1, 1995, cementing its place in modern Europe while maintaining constitutional neutrality. This complex history is reflected in the Austrian flag, one of Europe's oldest. Its distinctive red-white-red horizontal triband design reportedly dates back to Duke Leopold V in 1191 during the Third Crusade. According to legend, after a fierce battle, Leopold's white tunic was soaked with blood, but when he removed his belt, a white stripe remained, inspiring the flag's colors. While this romantic origin story persists, historians note the flag was officially adopted on May 1, 1945, immediately after Nazi occupation ended, symbolizing Austria's rebirth as an independent nation. Unlike many of its neighbors, Austria kept its strong currency when joining the European Union, adopting the euro on January 1, 2002. Today, €1 equals approximately $1.10, making financial calculations fairly straightforward for American visitors. Be warned, though, currency exchange at Vienna International Airport offers rates nearly 15% worse than city center exchanges or bank ATMs. The Erste Bank ATMs are particularly reliable, charging no additional fees beyond what your home bank might impose. Living costs in Austria reflect its high standard of living. A cappuccino in a Vienna cafe runs about €4.30, while a full meal at a mid-range restaurant costs around 20 to 25 euros. Grocery prices have risen 8% since 2023, with a liter of milk now at €1.50 and a loaf of artisanal bread at €3.80. Housing represents the biggest expense. A one-bedroom apartment in central Vienna averages €950 monthly, though prices drop by 30 to 40% in smaller cities like Graz or Linz. Tourists and digital nomads appreciate Austria's excellent connectivity, with 30-day prepaid SIM cards offering 20 gigabytes of data for just €15, compared to neighboring Switzerland's €40 for similar plans. When you walk Austrian streets, you'll notice a population predominantly of Germanic heritage, with typical Central European features. Austrians tend to be relatively formal in social interactions. Don't be surprised if even younger people address you with the formal Sie rather than the familiar Du until explicitly invited to do otherwise. An interesting social quirk: Austrians place great importance on academic titles in everyday conversation. Someone with a doctorate is always addressed as Herr Doktor or Frau Doktor. Omitting the title is considered impolite. Youth culture in Austria has seen fascinating developments recently. The Wiener Melange style blends traditional Austrian elements with contemporary streetwear. Think dirndl-inspired tops paired with urban accessories. The Bergpunk movement has gained traction among younger Austrians, combining outdoor Alpine aesthetics with punk sensibilities and environmental activism. Tattoo culture has evolved beyond mainstream acceptance, with approximately 31% of Austrians aged 18 to 35 sporting at least one tattoo as of 2025, often incorporating traditional Alpine symbols reimagined through modern design. Religion in Austria presents an interesting picture of a traditionally Catholic country undergoing significant secularization. According to 2025 statistics, 55% of Austrians identify as Roman Catholic, a sharp decline from 73.6% in 2001. Protestant denominations account for about 3.8%, while Islam has grown to 8.4% of the population. Orthodox Christianity stands at approximately 5.1%, largely due to immigration from Eastern European countries. Perhaps most significantly, those identifying as non-religious or atheist have surged to 24.3% of the population, reflecting broader European trends toward secularization. This religious landscape has been shaped by Austria's Habsburg history, when Catholicism was the state religion and counter-Reformation efforts effectively limited Protestant influence. Today's Austria maintains separation of church and state, though Catholic holidays remain as public celebrations. The country generally displays progressive social attitudes, with strong support for LGBTQ+ rights. Same-sex marriage was legalized in January 2019, and comprehensive social welfare programs. However, rural regions tend to maintain more conservative social values than urban centers like Vienna and Graz. Austria's economy defies expectations for a landlocked country of its size. While many associate Austria primarily with tourism, which does contribute a substantial 15.3% to GDP, the country has developed remarkable industrial specializations. Austria is the global leader in specialized tunnel boring machinery, with companies like Herrenknecht Austria controlling 42% of the world market as of 2025. The country has also emerged as Europe's surprising hotspot for quantum computing research, with the Vienna Quantum Lab securing €315 million, $346 million in EU funding in January 2025. Traditional strengths remain in precision engineering and sustainable forestry products, with 78.6% of Austria's timber harvested according to carbon-neutral practices. The Red Bull energy drink empire, headquartered in Fuschl am See, generated €13.7 billion in global revenue last year, while Swarovski crystal products, manufactured in Tyrol since 1895, continue to dominate the premium crystal market with a 35% global share. Despite global economic challenges, Austria maintained a respectable 1.8% GDP growth in 2024. Outperforming the Eurozone average of 1.2%. Beyond economic statistics, Austria captivates visitors with unique experiences. In Vienna's Leopoldstadt district, you'll find Karmelitermarkt, a 17th-century market square spanning 3,500 square meters that transforms from farmers' market by day to trendy culinary hotspot by night. Local legend claims that if you touch the nose of the small bronze market vendor statue at the square's center and spin 3 times, you'll always find the freshest produce, a ritual enacted daily by neighborhood grandmothers. Austria's historic districts reveal architectural treasures at every turn. In Salzburg, the narrow Getreidegasse, or Grain Lane, stretches 350 meters through the Old Town, featuring ornate guild signs hanging from centuries-old merchant houses. Meanwhile, culinary explorers discover delicacies like Büchel, a delicate ragout made from calf's heart and lungs, or Erdäpfel goulash, a poor man's potato goulash dating back to post-war scarcity. In Alpine regions, foraged ingredients like wild garlic, transform spring menus, appearing in everything from soups to pestos in a celebration of seasonal abundance. Safety is another Austrian hallmark. The country ranks 4th globally on the 2025 Global Peace Index, with violent crime rates among Europe's lowest. Vienna records just 0.7 homicides per 100,000 residents annually, compared to the EU average of 1.4. This security extends to infrastructure as well. Austria invests 435 million euros annually in street cleaning and maintenance, with city centers typically swept twice daily. The result? Pristine streets that visitors frequently comment on, and road quality that ranks 7th best worldwide according to the World Economic Forum's latest infrastructure assessment. Austrian architecture dazzles with both historical grandeur and modern innovation. The recently completed Danube Flux Tower, completed in November 2024 after 3 years of construction, rises 182 meters above Vienna's Donaustadt district. Its revolutionary breathing facade of adjustable glass panels automatically optimizes solar gain, reducing energy consumption by 47% compared to conventional buildings of similar size. This stands in striking contrast to historical masterpieces like Schönbrunn Palace with its 1,441 rooms, or the medieval Hochösterwitz Castle, perched dramatically atop a 175-meter limestone rock in Carinthia. Speaking of castles, folklore surrounds many Austrian landmarks. The famous Salzburg Fortress, Europe's largest fully preserved medieval castle at 250 meters long and 150 meters wide, harbors the Salzburg Bull, a massive mechanical organ built in 1502 that still plays daily at noon. Legend claims that as long as the bull continues its music, Salzburg will remain prosperous and safe from invasion. Meanwhile, the Wörthersee Lake in Carinthia hosts an annual ceremonial Awakening of the Lake every spring, where local fishermen tap the water's surface with wooden oars in a tradition dating back 800 years to ensure good fishing and safe passage. For those considering more than just a visit, Austria offers various visa options. Short-term tourists from the US, Canada, and most developed nations enjoy visa-free access for 90 days. Digital nomads can apply for the special Digital Austria visa, introduced in March 2023, allowing 1 year of residency with an income requirement of 2,900 euros monthly. The red-white-red card remains the primary path to work and permanent residency, using a points-based system favoring qualified professionals, with processing times averaging 4 to 6 weeks as of 2025. After 5 years of legal residency, foreigners can apply for Austrian citizenship, though be prepared for one of Europe's most challenging citizenship tests, requiring knowledge of Austrian history, culture, and language proficiency at the B2 level. One cultural quirk visitors frequently note is the Austrian tradition of Schmäh, a subtle, often self-deprecating form of humor and charm that permeates social interactions. Unlike German directness or American enthusiasm, Austrian Schmäh involves gentle irony and understated wit. It explains why Austrians might describe something truly spectacular as not too bad, perhaps the highest praise you'll receive. This cultural trait dates back to imperial times when citizens needed coded language to comment on Habsburg authority without risking censure. If you've enjoyed this journey through Austria's Alpine wonders and imperial splendors, now's the time to hit that subscribe button for more immersive European explorations. Which Austrian city should we explore in depth next? Musical Salzburg or cultural Graz? Let me know in the comments. And if you're planning your own Austrian adventure, share this video with your travel companions to start building that perfect itinerary. Remember to activate notifications so you never miss our weekly uploads taking you to the world's most fascinating destinations. Until our next adventure. Auf Wiedersehen!